Hello, Commanders. How are you doing today? I hope you all are doing very well. In today's video, I thought it would be helpful to cover rewards from tournaments again. This time in this video, I thought it might be helpful to be more specific in some information I wanted to get out to you all. What I've done is I've gone through each and every one of the prime particles I could see and tried to figure out, okay, which ones, and I went to Spock's Club, STFC.space for all of you. So hopefully this information is helpful in the video. Also, just a quick reminder, feel free to join Discord. I always put my links down below. Discord, Twitch. I'm now streaming on Twitch and Discord, or not Discord, Twitch and YouTube at the same time when I go live. So watch out for those for your questions. But join Discord because I made a PDF of the file I'm going to share with you today. I put that in Discord, so it's easy to grab that. It's in the infographics channel. So feel free to go down there and have a look at that. Of course, you can pull up the video and look at the video as well. But either way, whatever is going to be the most helpful to you. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about the primes you can get with the particles in the tournament store, and some of them you're going to be able to, some of them you're just going to have to look at the cost and see what rewards you and your alliance got. There may be some that you don't have access to depending upon your level in the tournaments. And if you're in a bigger alliance and you have other primes that I can't see, please let me know. I would love to be able to add those to the file I created, just to have a kind of a master sheet to present those. But I wanted to go over those, talk about those, and share that with you. So let's go ahead. Let's hop into it. Why? Because the players matter. All right, Commanders, here we are. We are back in the game. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Let's talk about it. I'm going to open up tournaments real quick here. So I'm in the Master League. Once again, I can't remember off the top of my head. Some of these you may not be able to see. But I want to talk about primes. So we've got various prime particles. We've got the swarm prime particle here. Ship parts, what else? Syndicate prime, and I'll talk to you about some of my favorite ones from a free-to-play standpoint, and we'll kind of go into that. Gosh, stop moving on me. I must have something auto-grinding or whatever. Anyways, because sometimes it will cause my screen to shift back up. So we've got the ship prime, syndicate. What else do we have here? Weapons. Astral Prime, Omega Prime Cosmic Particle. What I did, just so you know my basis, is I went into, if you go into Spock's Club and you go to this one resource allocation right here, you can actually type in the name of the particle right here. So let's say I wanted, just for example, the Swarm Prime Particle. I can click on that and then it will tell me how many I need. This is one I actually did purchase. We'll talk about what this is. For me, it doesn't give as much resources as I need, so it's not as valuable at my level. But for yours, it very well may be. So it might be something that you go after. That's something you'll have to ultimately decide. But it says right down here, the Swarm or Prime Swarm Refinery. The only issue I had an issue with one of these. It was for the shield. I think it was a shield boost prime that you can get out of one of these, and in what you call it, I think it was the Astral. Let's pull that up real quick. The Astral Prime Particle, shield health boost right here. But then when we go into game, let's just talk about that real quick. This is the only one I came across that had an issue. If we go into station and research, so just know it looks like that this one was missing. What was that? Was that station? Let's go back. Sorry. Galaxy. So Galaxy, let's go back to the Galaxy tree. There's so many of these darn trees, you know? So where's the shield health boost right here? It says it takes dolomite particles. So I think there's something up with that. But anyways, that's the only one I found in my list of primes when I was going through Spock's Club that had an issue. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about it. So we've got the Swarm Prime Particle. It gives you this Prime Swarm Refinery, increases significantly the amount of parts steel, titanium, and dilithium you receive from doing swarms. Pretty helpful. Not on my level where I need trillions, but this was pretty helpful because once you're doing your X-Borg dailies, this is just a slam dunk and get you a lot of those resources you need for various things. So that can be helpful to you in your game. You'll have to determine if that's something that's helpful to you or not. Next thing we see here are some prime parts for G4 and G5. Those can be helpful if you're trying to max those ships or get them to a decent level. If you're crazy like me and you're trying to, like I'm trying to max my at least one G5 ship, I've been able to use the Jelly Loop, as I made a video about that, to help me max my Enterprise D. I'm really close to doing that, but I've got all the parts I need very easily from that. Remember, you can also get some really good research with dolomite particles that would highly recommend. So this may or may not be valuable to you. The G4 is always a problem when you hit the rare bottleneck, rare parts, I should say, bottleneck. When you get to the last few tiers, can be quite annoying. So if you're trying to be able to max some of those ships, or later on when you're able to want to max and scrap those ships, that can be helpful because there always seems to be a pretty big bottleneck with G4 ship parts. Okay, next three we have here. So that's with the ship parts prime particle. The next three, I think we should have three there for the prime particle key. You can get some PvP research there, so increasing weapon damage against, when you're fighting interceptor, explorer, or battleships, when you're fighting players, PvP. So that may be something that's helpful to you if you're into PvP. It's never really been kind of my strong suit. I've never really been a big fan of PvP. Partly because I don't ever have the officers or research to do it, I suppose, or the ships, but it is what it is. Some of you may be in the same boat, and you may look at us and say, Grand Admiral Hunter, this is complete trash to me. Well, then that's fine. That's fine. And actually, those in PvP might be spenders, and they might already have these primes, so maybe this is not valuable even to them. Oh, it's always a problem, isn't it? Anyways, determine if PvP is something you're into, and these are what you can spend the prime particle keys on. Oh, and by the way, as we go through these, I would love to hear back from you if, kind of when you're looking at primes, because for me, primes are one of the most valuable thing in tournaments for the free-to-play or low spenders. So I'd love to hear from you. Of the primes, which ones do you find that kind of have the most value? I'd love to hear from you. Okay, this is one I just unlocked. Increases the amount of Syndicate XP gained from the daily chest. Now, as a reminder, that is this right here. When you go in and do your daily claim right here, my understanding is that this is really what is driving this, so it affects this as well here. One thing I will mention while we're talking about Syndicate, just something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and see if we can find it really quick. I believe it's in the station tree. I did not script this portion of the video, but let me find it. I apologize. I think it's Syndicate Spike. Yeah, Syndicate Spike increases the amount of Syndicate XP attained from the daily claim. So this one increases it by 400%, which is pretty significant. So as you're doing your dolomite particles and gathering those, you may want to consider the value of getting a Syndicate Spike to help you with your Syndicate XP. So just a little tidbit I'll throw in there really quick since we're talking about Syndicate XP, because I think this one only increases it by like 100%. Okay, increases base weapon damage for the prime weapon damage with the weapon prime particle. That's the only prime that comes from those. The Astral Prime, this is the one I was talking about where Spock's Club said that you could get the shield boost one. It looks like we just have this Delta Spike one for the extra artifact rolls. To the Uncommon and Rare Anomaly Sample Refinery. Depending where you're at with that, this may or may not be helpful. But if you're able to get more rare and you're getting more artifacts, I mean, that can be a good thing. That can help your gameplay along. So that's something to consider. Omega Particle only had one, increasing base critical damage for all ships. That can be significant to your game. More critical damage, the better you're going to be able to do against both PvE and PvP. So that is something to keep in mind. And then we have these last two. Prime Cosmic Particles can be spent on prime junking speed. And for you who are scrapping ships, maybe you're scrapping some G4 ships to get some materials for G5 ships, what have you, or even G3 to G4. This can be helpful to increase your speed that you're scrapping those ships. As long as you can keep up with the turn-ins, or the costs for those, I should say, then this can be beneficial. There is a fair amount of research in the game for scrapping, so that may or may not be super effective. But yeah, that's something to consider for the Prime Cosmic Particles. You can also get a boost to increasing your research cost efficiency for G3 through G5 materials. Reducing the cost for those can always be a good thing. For me, as a low spender, I always have struggled with the Latinum or speed ups I need to be able to do my research. But having said that, you can still get a lot of it done at lower costs with more efficiency research. But once again, this is something, there's a lot of research in the game, so it may not be as super effective for you. Okay, so those are the primes. Tell me what you think. Put that in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. I do want to hop in just really quick at the end of the video here. Well, let me kind of say that of all of these, I think I like the Syndicate ones the best. Maybe the Prime Swarm Refinery, where you are at in the game. The parts primes can be helpful for you depending upon your situation. I'm not as big into the PvP stuff, so outside of that, I might go with the Prime Critical Strike, Prime Weapon Damage, just to help me do more damage with my ships, and then maybe looking at the others. So a lot of this actually does come down to where you're at in the game and what kind of your current goals are and where you're trying to go with it. As far as tournaments go, though, let's hop into that. As I've recently entered into G6 and I know I'm going to be using my cube more for some of the solos, this transwarp drive is really tempting to me. So that's something I'm looking at. I already talked about the primes. I have tried to prioritize. I did spend some money to unlock the Control Seeker probes, which was kind of foolish of me in a way. I wanted to show that off on a video. But I bought those and I've got it up almost as high as I can get it without getting more Q's assessment ranking. So it's giving me about 300 tier-up catalysts a day, which is not bad. I mean, it adds up. But now I'm trying to get the dual photon warheads and the torpedo pods so that I can get even more tier-up catalysts. So that's a priority for me. And then I'll probably be looking at the primes. Some of this, like, I don't know, some of the forbidden tech does actually kind of look interesting. Mainly the PvP I'm kind of thinking of. If you're interested in PvP, maybe, because right here we have some things that, like, where is it? Right here, like the time crystal, increasing your, don't move on me. It's going to increase damage against players, whole health. So this might be something good to get. I have been able to unlock, I think, the time crystal, working on some others because I got the Ferengi whip, but not everyone has that. And so that may be of interest to you if you want to do better at arenas. I haven't been able to do arenas for the last 2 weeks, by the way. And I think the main reason is just time. It's a busy time for me sometimes, that Monday night, and I just don't have time. I haven't had time anyways the last 2 weeks to do any of those. So one cool thing that I saw here, I don't remember seeing it before. I'm sorry if I'm making this comment and it's a miss, but the Fisha glass ship, it does add some additional refinery options. I believe this one adds, because I have both, so I kind of forget, but I think this one adds the parts refinery options, or some ship parts refinery options to the store. It also increases the speed that your ship can mine the regular latinum. Why'd you want to do that with Xborg, where you can spend just a little bit of your Xborg credits to get basically as much latinum as you want? I don't know, but that just is something I observed, that if it's something that you are investing in, I'd love to hear from you. You can tell me if that's of value to you. So anyways, that's where we're at with tournaments and with primes. Hopefully this information is helpful. Hopefully graphically it puts it in a good format for you, so you can easily see, okay, I want to go for that one or that one or that one, or whatever it is. So once again, just trying to be helpful here, and I hope it does help you point to certain things that will help your gameplay out depending upon where you're at in the game. So anyways, thank you so much, Commanders. We'll talk to you soon, and have a wonderful weekend.